Welcome to 12.5 minutes. My name is Jared Kelly, and I'm joined by my favorite co-host, Liz Whitehead.
Hi,
How are, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
Excellent. It's good to see you. I think we have a special guest today, and we always try to bring fantastic founders and remarkable CEOs and small businesses to the table to give them an opportunity to share not only what they do, but also the impact that they make on their communities. And I hear that we have a fantastic guest today. Is
We
that
do.
right?
We do. Before I introduce him, Jared, what do you know about business owners and how good their systems and processes are?
I know a lot of business owners, and I do know that it's too many systems and not enough organization. They're disconnected. They cost us a whole lot of money. And generally speaking, we're not using them efficiently. It's kind of like having a smartphone that you just use to take pictures.
Exactly. Oh, that's how I use my smartphone. But that's exactly it. I mean, it's kind of why you do what you do and I do what I do. And our guest today, Brad Eisenberg from Be Lean, is a scalability consultant. So he helps business owners make a bigger impact by putting those systems and processes in place so they can really make their business successful.
I'm all about this. I need to hear from Brad. So, welcome, Brad. Please join us. I actually think that this is going to help me directly beyond the audience. So, we're looking forward to seeing you.
Well, glad to
Nice,
be here.
nice to meet you. Give us, if you would, give us an idea. When did you start this business, and why did you start this?
Yeah, so Be Lean was born in 2017 out of the ashes of the last business that I was at. Before Be Lean, I was the chief operating officer of an energy efficiency company, and I joined them early in my 20s as like employee number two of this baby startup running out of the back room of a house. And I really helped them scale from this small and scrappy company barely making payroll to a $5 million a year business with a team of close to 50 people. And that journey of kind of growing from this undisciplined startup culture where we were running in a million different directions to becoming, a smooth and sophisticated and mature operating organization was like the best ride I've ever been on. So at the end of 2016, when a lot of the rebate programs that our efficiency company was operating out of kind of dried up in terms of their budgets and the business unfortunately had to close, I just needed to ride that ride again. And so I decided to start my consulting company to help other businesses navigate that transition from, small and scrappy and inefficient to really a more scalable and mature operating organization.
Wow, that is impressive. That's very impressive. You know what's interesting about that, and I want Liz to chime in on this, is that most businesses have a need to scale, but they don't necessarily know how or when to scale.
Yep. And this is when I tell you that I worked with Brad and his process really helped me. I was like, I want to build a thing. Like, can we build a thing? And he was like, before we do that, we can, but before we do that, why are we building the thing? What can we charge for the thing? What is going to be the impact on your business long term? So Brad really has a superpower when it comes to that stuff.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think a lot of people, think of scalability as one thing of like, how do we just get the biggest, the fastest we can? And I am like, not that way. To me, when you really think about scalability, it's all about the capacity to change in size. And there's way too much focus on the size part of that sentence and not enough focus on the capacity or ability part of that sentence. So what I really want to focus with my clients is not how do we get the biggest that we can, but how do you have more control and consistency and efficiency over your growth so that you can actually make the impact that you want to make?
That's intriguing as well. You know what I was actually thinking when you were talking was, when thinking about your organization, where are you based? And then I'm sure you're probably helping businesses all over the nation. At least I just think that you would. You're obviously a genius at what you do. But tell us a little bit about your pathway to growth.
Sure. So I'm based in Washington, D.C., and I work with companies from coast to coast. Both local, but I've got clients in California, Texas, New York, et cetera. The beauty of virtual connection these days, right? So like I mentioned before, there's a lot of people that are in the scalability space that really are focusing just on the size piece. When you hear a lot of other scalability people, whether they're coaches, consultants, gurus, what they're really talking about is, how do we grow sales? How do we grow revenue? I'm here to help my clients after that, right? What happens after you have the sales so that you can actually service those sales and continue to grow? So I focus on three things with my client. Number one, we focus on optimizing profitability so that all of the products and services that you're selling actually leave enough money on the table that you can reinvest back into growth. Two, we focus on scaling capacity. So how do you handle all of that extra volume in a way that we're not like bottlenecking or letting balls drop? And then number three, we focus on investing in innovation. So how do we put in place a really organized and consistent way to implement new ideas that focuses on experimentation, data, measurement, validation, so that we're not just spreading all of our resources too thin, but we're really focused on placing our resources in the places that are going to have the biggest impact.
Yeah, a very wise person once told me that the top line is vanity, but the bottom line is sanity. So it's like, you can be the biggest size-wise in the world, but if that money isn't going back into reinvesting in the company and your employees and all of that, then it doesn't mean anything. So that's important.
Like that. I like that. You're going to have to write that down for me, because I won't remember it the right way. I'll butcher it. So write it down for me. But that's also interesting to me, because it also gives us an opportunity to talk about investing in communities, right? So these businesses, these clients of yours, I'm sure have, they're thinking more not only about what they do, but how they impact the communities that they serve, whether it's their employees, whether it's their stakeholders. Give us a little bit of idea about how Be Lean has an impact on the communities that you serve.
Yeah, so, nobody starts a business because they want to run a business, right? People start a business for any number of reasons. They want more freedom and flexibility in their life. They want to make an impact on those communities that they really care about. They're really passionate about, their clients and who they serve, whatever that reason is. To me, like, that is the most beautiful thing about business, is that it can be this vehicle for both personal agency and positive change in the world. That's why I started my business. I grew up a closeted gay kid living in the suburbs on a pathway to becoming a professional engineer. And the further I got down that path, the less it felt like it was the right path for me. And entrepreneurship was that first opportunity in my life that I saw that I could actually create the life that I wanted and support myself while I was doing that. And it completely changed my life. This is my third business. I started my first business in college. It was a bike sharing business before bike sharing was cool, before the energy efficiency company. And, each one of those businesses gave something back to me in terms of creating that life that I wanted and making an impact in the world. So it is really, it doesn't go lightly that my clients have those same desires and ambitions. And, my purpose, my mission is to help them fulfill those. And the way that I can do that is to really help them create this business, this vehicle, right? The business isn't the thing. The purpose is the thing. The business is just a vehicle that allows them to achieve those aspirations and dreams. So if I can help them create a vehicle that can sustain while they're on this really bumpy path of entrepreneurship and business growth, like that is my calling, and that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. You know, Brad is talking about his personal story, but he's also really good at making the personal professional. He's part of the owner and entrepreneur circle with GSSCC, the Greater Silver Spring Chamber of Commerce. And so I remember Brad talking to you about the community. Like, I'm creating this community. You're kind of scaling up the impact that business has had on you for other community members and entrepreneurs that might not have seen those revelations yet. So I think that's important too.
Thanks, Liz.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So where can people, what's your website? Where can people reach you?
Sure. So my website is beleanbusiness.com. And you can visit me on the website, or you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active over there as well. My name is Brad Eisenberg, and I'm pretty findable.
Well, we'll find you. Well, thank you for taking this time with us. It's been awesome. Now we're going to take a minute to find out what lessons Liz learned from all of this. So thank you, Brad. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Brad.
Liz, give us.
So I know Brad, and I've worked with Brad. And so one of the things that I think that I put together today was just that Brad's work is scalability. He helps his clients scale, but he's also scaling that effect on the community of business owners as a whole. Like, he's putting into practice what he does for clients, also for the community of business owners, and this community that is always, as you said at the beginning, like kind of scrambling for things, knowing we need to do more. And Brad is like, hey, I got you, which is great. And he's, like I said too, that he's not going to say, oh yeah, I can build this and now you have it. Good luck, see you later. He's like, what is the purpose? How is this really, it's a vehicle, as he said, to help you reach your mission and your greater purpose.
I like it. I like it. We will definitely have a conversation with Brad again. I have some things that we need to scale up ourselves. So this has been fantastic. I am excited about this episode, and I hope people get a chance to not only take it in, but also comment below if they have a reason to contact Brad, or even if they have questions for us or for Brad. This would be a great opportunity to connect and find ways that we can all grow our business community. It's obviously important to our national economics, but also our global economics. So it's been a pleasure. As always, Liz, fantastic show.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. That's it for us at 12.5 minutes. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.